God, man, dude.
Alright, I just went live as well.
What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know, you asked me. We're Hey, my stream can already hear me.
They can already hear you. Oh, actually, good point. Let me bring up your stream chat. That's a valid point.
Can they hear me? Can they hear you? That's the question.
I guess we're gonna find out soon enough.
Right? I mean, we're also starting this, like, really at the freaking naked hours of morning.
I am not ready for this.
Not ready at all?
God, no. The fuck you mean am I ready?
Come on. You got this.
No, I ain't got this.
Yeah, you do. You got this.
Tell me, what the fuck are we doing?
Did you just post that?
Yep.
Shit, I forget every time that I have a Twitter.
Mine automatically places it, so...
Oh, shit. Phone's dropped.
Goodbye, chat. Dude.
What?
I already fucking people in my chat like, goddamn, what the fuck?
Hold up, I need to... Holy shit! Queen Bee! Happy 4 months, all hail Origin. Jesus Christ, Queen Bee, thank you. Already starting... Holy fuck.
Jesus. Man
Right.
over here getting paid for the fucking podcast. What the fuck?
Queen Bee, thank you. Thank you so much. You're a legend.
You ready for this shit?
Yeah, give me 1 second, dude. I'm over here trying to still go to freaking Twitter. Alright? Like, give me a second. I can't see this shit. Type as something as Origin, no. Fuck my life.
I'm not ready. Not ready one bit.
Oh god, how do I... Oh god, I'm an idiot. Give me a second.
Hey, that's fine. Take as much time as you need. I'm gonna sit here and drink my alcohol.
Hey.
I mean, not alcohol, liquid beverage.
You know, I should have put mine in another one. A different container.
I mean, mine's at the pen, so...
Hold up. Shh, I'm really messing this up right now.
Oh my god.
Hey.
I know how you felt.
This is how, you know, the first one's always supposed to go. You don't know how to handle it. Okay. There we go. Copy.
Alright.
Nice.
Because my chat already knows some of what you look like. So
Yeah.
I changed my screen over so they could just see you at the moment. I haven't put my camera on yet.
I just said I'm currently live. On Twitch. I didn't even say what it was. I just said I'm live.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Are you already past your start screen?
yep. And I'm putting my fucking other screen up so I'm actually being seen now. So there we go. Welcome, everybody.
Oh god, is it gonna... That is not... I totally forgot where to go. There we go. There we go. What's up?
It's a case of what the fuck are you doing?
Dude, it's, it is what it is.
Well, I guess to start off with, welcome to the first part of however many long podcasts of Origin Shadows. Origin of Shadows. I really fucked up.
What the fuck? No, dude, I'm over here dying my ass off, dude. What the fuck? But yes, welcome to the first ever Origins of Shadows podcast with yours truly, Origin 109 and AP Shifty. What's up, Shifty?
How's it going, everybody? First time on fucking can, so it's definitely interesting. Let's just say.
Hey, let me put the liquid niceness away real quick.
Liquid courage, you mean? Dude, I'm gonna need a lot of liquid courage today.
Hey, all right, so I didn't get this far, dude.
I mean, hey, we're both in the same boat then.
Yeah. So today's gonna be a little weird on a podcast type deal. Alright, it's gonna be a little weird because we don't know what the fuck we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna talk about random shit, some shit that's going on in the world today, some stuff that you know, just something that's gonna make our minds work a little bit, shit like that.
I mean, let's start.
Unplanned, unorganized, yes.
What we're gonna be doing, right? It's gonna be the case of we're gonna be sitting here talking about what we want to talk about, or when we pretty much want to talk about it. It's going to be every week podcast, something like that.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah. Professionals, by the way.
Yeah, we're professionals, by the way. I mean, we can kick it right off and talk about the more important news that we found out recently today. Get the harder subjects out the way, heartfelt, tragedy in the world of this type of music. So, a esteemed performer, singer, actor, everything. Our boy Meatloaf has passed away and perished a couple days ago. Our hearts go out to his family and everything. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but growing up as a kid for myself, a lot of the times it was the case of what my parents wanted to throw on. Now, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I heard this guy passed away, I'm like, okay, who is he? I started listening to some of his music. I was like, oh, it's this guy that passed away.
Yeah. A lot of his music, man.
Oh, yeah. A lot of his music is really good, especially for his time and era. Even if you don't like their genre of music, you still got to respect him now for what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, so
everything.
One of his biggest hits was Bat Out of Hell trilogy.
Bats Out of Hell trilogy was a good one.
Yeah. I mean, Sadie in my chat just mentioned the fact that she actually enjoyed his music as well, so...
There you go.
No matter how old or young we are, the one thing we can always relate to is music.
Yeah.
Whether it be anything from punk rock, to screamo, to opera, R&B, whatever it is, we all have a found respect for music because we all understand how much time and effort goes into actually making music. So
yeah, music is everywhere. That's the thing, and everybody relates to music in some sort of way, whether that be just the flow of the music, or if it's like part of your culture, or if it has some events in the music that have happened in your life. And I think Meatloaf hit those for a lot of people. It brought a lot of people together on some good music, and and his reach was everywhere. A lot of people was into the type of music he was producing, and it's inspirational. To see where Meatloaf came from, from humble beginnings to where he ended up. So,
yeah. And like Danny just mentioned, the best Meatloaf chef, Meatloaf hit is like the dude's name. I feel like he did it as a meme as such, whereas like he can sit there Because like he wasn't a skinny dude by any means.
No.
He was a decent sized fella. Right?
Yeah.
Being able to come up on stage and literally have your stage name be unique, like and take it as a meme sort of thing,
Mm.
it takes that to a whole new like level where it's like, I know I'm the size that I am, and if you don't like it, still shit. I'm still going to be out here performing.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm not the best looking person out here. I'm not. I'm not.
I can vouch for that one, dude. I'm the same boat.
Yeah, we're both in the same boat, man. Like, we don't care though. That's the thing. We'll come on here, do our thing, do what we wanted to do from the get go, and then just enjoy the rest of our lives. That's how we do.
Yeah, like Danny just mentioned in my chat. I'm pretty sure I heard he got the name in high school. So
Name in high school.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just think about that. Right? You get a nickname from high school, and then from high school all the way through until you pretty much perish.
Yeah.
Like you've had that nickname, and everybody that sat there to make fun of you, to turn around and be like, look, you try and make him into a negative.
Yeah.
Now I'm making it into a positive. And
Yeah.
look how successful I've been.
Yeah. And
Hey, that's pretty nutty to think.
yeah, he was crazy successful. There was the thing is, there was a part of his career where it did go downhill, but he brought it back with, a revolutionary song that's now in many areas.
Oh yeah.
So, and him just, being able to, stay at the top and then have his little downfall and then be able to rise back up again, that's just shows the test of what he can actually do.
I mean, exactly what Danny just said. You look back at it.
Yeah.
Like kind of put it better on yourself. Like, from down at probably one of his lowest points in life to being that successful.
Yeah.
It's insane to think. Like the dude wasn't that old by today's standards either. He was 74.
Yeah. And that's, he had so much more life to live.
Oh yeah.
And joy to bring to people. But that's the one thing that none of us can wrap our heads around is we all have a ticking clock. No matter who you are or how great you think you are, you can't expect to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
The next day or the next day after that. You can't know when your time is done. And unfortunately for Meatloaf, it was his time, and hopefully he's rocking it up in heaven.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a VIP section up there where it's like, all right, you're one of these guys, you know exactly where to go.
Oh yeah.
I just have one day I'm actually allowed to be in that VIP section in the office.
I aim for modesty a lot of the times. If I get into a VIP section, fine. But if I don't, it's okay. That's fine.
Hey, if I don't get into the VIP section, as long as it's fun and entertaining for my purposes, we good. I'm down for it.
As long as I, am able to freely do as I please, right? Just do me, then I'll be happy. Very simple. That's all that matters.
I mean, Danny just brought up a good point. Like, what is your take on the afterlife, like spiritually?
What is my take?
Me,
wow.
Personally, I feel like there is something. It's the same thing as we can't be the only people on the only inhabitable life.
Yeah.
In the entire fucking galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's like all of a sudden it's like. This is one thing I've always asked, like scripture people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this come from? Where did that come from? And it gets to the point where they turn around and say, "Oh, it came from God." It's like, right. Everything came from somewhere, right? Everything has a positive and negative reaction. But where did he come from?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit there and be like, "Hey, he was always there." It's like, if that's so, then how? They can't sit there and be like, "Oh, this is the reason why we feel like this has happened. No. And that's also another reason why people want to believe that there's something higher and greater out there.
Mm.
So it is a very touchy subject to talk about. And bear in mind, this is just my point of view on things.
Yeah.
It goes from, yes, there probably is something out there, because I do believe everything happens for a reason, whether it's bad from like our past or good in the future, or good from the past and bad in the future. Like, we don't have a control over it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the way that it stands, yeah, I do believe that there is an afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, am I sitting there holding my breath like, oh, I need to do good for this so I can go to heaven? No, I'm not. Because as I stand, I'm an atheist. Right?
Mm.
I believe something is out there until proven.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe.
Yeah.
And some people might not like that theory, which is totally understandable. And I respect everybody's decision on what they believe in and what they don't believe in.
Mm.
Right? At the end of the day, we are all entitled to our own opinion and how we feel and think about things.
Yeah. So my point of view on the afterlife, it's very broad. I don't know what to expect. That's the thing. I have there's many questions to ask, but I can't make them into words. And I can't wrap my heads around of what the afterlife could even entail. Because there's so many different theories out there. There's so many different people trying to disprove it, prove it, and there's no set standard on what the afterlife is, except for the image of, hopefully being reunited with family, or seeing, somebody that you haven't seen for a while. Because no one wants to think of just an instant you're gone. People want to think that there's something more. Something more that you can strive for. Personally, for me, I do think there's something out there, and like as you said, I can't prove anything. I don't know if it's true. I don't know anything, and I'm kind of just gonna take the time I'm here right now, and while I'm here, I'm gonna stay here, and until my time is up. That's when I'll know what the afterlife is. But other than that, I'm not on either side of proving it or disproving it. I'm right in the middle.
Yeah. I'm here enjoying my life for what it is. I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow alive or dead or what the case may be. I mean, as far as where, tomorrow might not actually come.
Yeah.
So you'll never understand, or you'll never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you'll never know.
Take each day as it comes. If there's bad blood between two parties, then go ahead and try and win that bad blood. And there's no point in holding a grudge against somebody for X amount of time because they wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
We're all human. We all make mistakes, and at the end of the day, we live around mistakes.
Yeah, always keep yourself held up high, but don't just aim for a modest life. Always aim for greatness. Never, sell yourself short of what you can actually truly achieve. There's going to be many people that will try and knock you back down, but you got to just keep getting up and keep fighting until you can't no more.
So. I mean, like Danny just said in the chat. But if you have faith, then you will, then you know what will come tomorrow.
Yeah.
God has shown His face in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, it comes down to the same thing as people being able to sit there and say one thing. Like, I'm always behind that philosophy, if you want to say it like that, or whatever. There's always three sides to a story. The people that were there, the people that were told about it, and then the actual truth.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what goes on, even if you look at it today's day and age, there's always a three-sided story.
Yeah.
Whether you like it, whether you don't, at the end of the day, as long as we are all fine with accepting what we believe in and how we want to go ahead and run through it, then go for it. Like, it's the same thing when the whole Jesus reincarnation happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand reincarnating and stuff like that is very difficult. Like, people are trying to do it to today's day and age. So the fact that somebody was able to do it back then is a bit hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with today's technology and everything like that, like, the closest that we came to, if I believe correctly, was us being able to freeze the person and preserve the body.
Oh.
And back then, mummies and everything like that, the Egyptians were able to make mummies and everything like that, which preserved the skin. Like, it's still decayed, but it preserved the skin. Like, it's not to the point where it's like bones in the casket. It was actually flesh to it.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe it did happen, maybe it didn't. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you shouldn't have believed this or you should have that. If it's something that you feel highly and strong about, then by all means go for it, believe it. At the end of the day, whatever we believe in to cope with what's going on in today's day and age, and so be it.
Yeah. Oh man, that just the thought, of being able to being able being able to being able to think about, like, just that, that just brought, like, my mind to a whole new thinking of, what it could, like, what if we could, like, possibly take somebody, freeze them, and then save them until, like, a different year,
I mean, there was rumors and stuff like that that I've heard where they actually did it with Elvis Presley's body, where he's actually been preserved on ice, and when they actually learned how to bring people back to life, then he was one of the few people that would actually do that.
Yeah. Like, it's just a crazy thought to think about that. Like, if we know the world's going to hell now, we freeze a certain key people. I can't get the words out. Okay, I'm trying. Just the key people that freeze them and then have them set to wake up in a different time, where, say, the world's already going to shit, everybody's, like, gone, they wake up, like, they've been undisturbed all this time, they wake up, now they're in a new world, and now they have to figure out what like, how did they get to this point? I know they obviously were just frozen, but after being frozen, you're not gonna really care about that anymore. You're gonna be like, where am I? And like just the thought of, like, what you could possibly see at that point, after everything's been, destroyed, the human conflict got too out of hand, and now it's just barren. And now you gotta walk through this, from being frozen, where everybody was, to now, like, you don't have that family anymore. It's just you and the random people that were frozen with you.
Yeah.
So you gotta, like, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna see all the damage, you're gonna be like, fuck, dude, what happened?
Well, that's another point, like, you could sit there and look how we are today to how we were 100 years ago.
Yeah.
100 years ago, every single household being able to have a computer, we can literally do what we're doing, is talking online across the freaking world.
Yeah.
Instantly, like, responding back. It's like, wow.
Yeah, true. Like, it's insane where technology has come in just a short amount of time. And I'm happy to see where it goes, or what we can even achieve as a human race. Yeah. There's so much that we could achieve. There's so much still to discover. We haven't discovered like a lot of things. This is just the surface of what we can discover.
I mean, kind of this way, right? People want to explore space, but we haven't even explored our own ocean.
Yeah.
When I just thinking about that for a minute, it's insane to think because not even once again, not even 100 years ago, people didn't realize that there were still giant squids at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Very true.
Like, I'm not talking like, I don't know, like a foot to 2 foot long. I'm talking about like not kilos, blue whale size. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Just like, holy crap, there's these huge ass things in the bottom of the ocean. Wow. Like, they, so what is it? They're, like, not even over half the oceans, like, out of, like, all the water, we haven't even mapped it yet. So,
I mean, go on.
What could be out there still?
There's so much. Like Danny just mentioned, when you're born too late to explore the Earth, to explore the Earth, too early to explore the stars.
Yeah.
Which I can understand. Like, just recently we've got the ability to have self-driving cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 100 years ago, it was still horses and carriages.
Yeah.
Like, just this year alone is that they're pushing for more electric vehicles and getting rid of gas-powered vehicles or like fuel vehicles, which is insane to think about.
We could be flying soon. We could be flying soon, dude, in a car. Because they already have cars that can, like, hover a little bit. But that's a stepping stone to what we could actually see going forward.
I mean, for example, non-deflatable tires.
Yeah.
The military are running that now with non-deflatable tires.
Yeah. And then you start putting that on all cars, and then there goes the tire issue.
Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah, like, what is it? There's cars that you don't even need. You could just go in, just sit down, and it drives itself.
Yeah.
Don't even need to push any buttons. It's just, you say a word and you go.
They go like this, right? All I gotta say is school runs would be so much easier. Kids get in the car, auto path, school, drop off, wait there for 5 minutes, come back home.
Just push a button. You're at the school? Alright, push back home.
Yeah.
Drives itself back home. I don't even need to be in the car.
Like, oh, peace and quiet. Thank God.
But the thing is, like, how do you go about making it safe enough to where that if you have multiple of these vehicles on the road, right, not being like piloted or like driven or anything like that of the nature, like, how do we make it how do we make multiple and keep it everything like safe, Yeah, we obviously have the technology to know when there's a car next to us while we're driving. It just says beep beep beep, you're too close to a car. But how do we go about that when we're said not even able to physically drive the car? How's it gonna know? Horizons.
Like, it's difficult to say because it's kind of like pushing towards the stage of Iron Man, if anybody's seen it, where they're going to be able to detect a danger, and from there, it's going to be the case of, hey, this is the danger, this is how we deal with this danger, and within an instant, it could be dealt with. But when you're saying that, you don't know if that person might have had like a medical disorder or whatever the case might be.
Yep.
So making that call would be so difficult, which is also why people have investigation and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like we're already like we can already build a human robot with that has emotions.
Oh yeah.
You know.
What, like 4 of them around at the moment that we know? That's been 2 of them.
Yeah. Like it's so insane that humans have gotten to that point to where we've had to, like we've been able to recreate another robot with human feelings and like human emotions. That's just that's kind of scary to think about because like let's just think about it, like we could start having robots around and we wouldn't even know.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just acting so human-like. So we gotta they gotta make sure that's good because we don't need another iRobot situation.
No.
Hey Will Smith, I need you back on this one. But yeah.
That's a good question from Dan. Do you think the Skynet will activate and take us all out? Well, put it this way, right? The world was supposed to end in the year 2000, Y2K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if people remember it or not, but
yeah,
it was supposed to be when computers were going to take over the world and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's got their theories and their thoughts, and whatever else you want. But at the end of the day, with us having our thoughts and process of everything is what makes us who we are at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it is interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, the things that make us us, like we constantly change at, you know, rapid pace every day or every at like any time. We can change from one thing to another so quickly, like, and we're all different. We all have many different things we enjoy. Where you have to program a robot to enjoy the same things. So a robot could enjoy everything, but then there's no difference. Then you're just like everybody around you. Or it's just the fact of the matter that you have to program it into the robot for it to, you know, be similar. So
it's just weird. But once again, like my mind still goes back to 100 years ago. How different everything was.
100 years ago, everything was different. Yeah, 100 years ago.
We came from where we were 100 years ago to where we got now.
Yeah, 100.
How far are we going to push it from now in another 100 years?
Yeah. That's what I think.
Little boy just said. Where do we draw the line when it comes to robots? Because at the moment, as it sits, some people sit there and be like, yeah, robots are taking over our jobs, which I can understand, why people get frustrated.
Yeah.
At the same point in time, there's also a lot of people in this world that don't want to do those jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that want to do that job want to get paid more for it. Where in retrospect, the amount of people, manpower it would take to go ahead and actually do that one job, a single robot could. And it's less money. It's more reliable.
Yeah.
Unless it breaks down.
Yeah. Man. This, like, the cutoff point for robots, I don't know. The thing is, we don't know where the cutoff point is. The cutoff point is to where there's one that just rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta think, we're gonna keep making technology, and there's people out there that, you know, just hack it. You know, there's hackers out there, and they're gonna find a way to, you know, hack into robots and make them turn against us. Just like the iRobot situation. There's gonna be some type of hacknet or hack something that's just gonna override the way that the robots think, and there's gonna be a full war going on.
Like, no matter how secure anything is, nothing is truly secure.
Yeah.
And no matter what way you think of it, there's always a possibility of getting harmed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you live in like the best code for freaking years or the entire world sort of thing. There's always that one person that might do something that you overlooked or you bypassed that you sit and be like, this is how you do it.
Yeah. It's just a lot to take in. Like just thinking about like what would happen if robots decided just to, hey, you know what, screw this shit. I'm going after humans. Like, there, once again, like there's a lot of people that are like really terrified about something like that happening to where they won't even let too much technology into their house to avoid of something like that happening. You know, I've seen I've seen some things like while I was doing some Google searches that there's people who are like anti technology and like they have their own riots, they have their own things going on, but we don't hear about that stuff because it's like it's so minuscule that it's not really going to change what we do anyway with technology.
Yeah. I mean, like Danny just brought up.
Yeah.
Robots would never take over jobs.
Mm-hmm.
What we need to do as a species is evolve with the technology, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Instead of teaching redundant fields, for example, we don't even teach Morse code anymore.
Oh, true.
Like, another thing as well is sign language was a big thing. Like, it still is a big thing, but it isn't a mandatory thing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my mother talking about the fact that she had a friend that was deaf and she communicated with sign language.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being in a situation where sign language could actually save your life, where you're trapped, right? And you're there with the actual person and they're trying to take you out and trying not to actually get you freaked out because, you know, you've been abducted, for example. You could sit there and sign language to the side and then somebody might notice it's like, hey, hold up, something's correct here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like Jody just said, and Danny's agreeing, not enough people know sign language.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, I don't know sign language.
I'll second that. I have no clue. Like, a lot of the times growing up, there was hints of them like throwing it out there and saying like this, and this, right, and like showing you like certain things, but it wasn't like enough to actually for me to actually learn it. So like now I'm like I have no clue what it even is.
Yeah.
So
like little brother's just mentioned that it's my mission to learn British Sign Language, and that's another thing to think as well. The amount of different languages in the world, and every single language has their own variation of a quote-unquote language, even if it's sign language, even if it's verbal language or keys or whatever. Like, it's so interesting to sit there and think.
yeah, like you just said, there's so many languages around the world, and it's just like hard to wrap around. Somebody had to make those languages, and for an entire country or just a group of people to learn one language, and it just grew. That's insane.
Like, here in Australia, I would love it if they actually made us sit there and actually another language.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory in any like classes or anything. It's kind of another thing. But you got some people that have a second language at home.
Yeah.
But then they also have English.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're able to sit there and speak two different languages is awesome.
Yeah.
It means that they can actually communicate with more people and get to know more how the world is.
Yeah. Like, when you're young, you need to be taught how to speak the certain language that you're going to be brought into. So when you're born, you're not even able to speak words. You're just goo goo gaga and then yeah, and then depending on where you're brought up, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to know that language because you're always around it. So
So just from the
yeah.
right, for you personally, right, you might be Goo Goo Gaga, but for me personally, it was Goo Goo Gaga and a lot of screaming.
A lot of
I don't
screaming.
know about anybody else out there, but there was a lot of screaming.
I had my moments of crying and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you weren't a freaking golden child. Don't worry
Uh,
about that. I'm sure you weren't.
I wasn't. I was not. I can tell you one story where my dad, where he was, he's doing that airplane shit where dad has you above your head and you're going around this. The thing is, I had just eaten, right? So you could tell where this is going.
Yeah.
He starts spitting me, and I'm like, then bleh. On top of his head, he's like, oh shit. I don't know if like it's just like you just gotta accept it. Like you're holding your child here. You don't want to just drop your kid, so you're just holding your kid here, and you just gotta take it.
I mean, this is another point that Danny just brought up. Do you think generally we are incapable to learn certain languages? Or do you think it's all learned behavior? To be honest, in my household, we only speak English, right? And from what I understand from other people is that being exposed to the language and actually learning, seeing how they're actually speaking it, to understanding it, to everything in between, that plays another big part as well. Because if you don't have somebody sitting there talking to you about it, you're not going to keep up on that skill.
Yeah.
Like, there is slight variations between Australian, like English, to British, to American English, a whole lot. But in some way, shape, or form, we all understand what we're saying. But when it comes to an entirely different language, for example, like Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, Italian, French, like, it's just so interesting. Like, the one language that gets me, which I would love to learn, is Mongolian.
Ooh.
Like, the only thing that hasn't got me to actually sit there and learn it is because I don't know anybody that I could actually sit there and speak it with.
Yeah.
Like, am I really good at speaking? I have no idea. But it's gonna be something to learn about.
Yeah. Dude, Mongolian, that sounds dope though. Just like, so, do you only speak English? No, I speak Mongolian. Like, that sounds awesome. Because, to go back onto that point, like, in my household, primarily English, but we're also Italian. My mom, on my mom's side, she grew up actually speaking Italian. And then slowly as she grew older, she started going into English because it was the primary language around everybody. And because her mom was the one that spoke primarily Italian, then my mom spoke Italian, and then since she swapped into like English, now like English is her main language, and Italian's kind of just gone to the wayside, so I don't even know if she can speak it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm English as well, like English language. I don't know anything about Italian language.
Yeah.
It's possible that I could learn Italian language just because it's through the family, and maybe it makes it easier to learn it. Don't know.
I mean, like Jody just mentioned, It's easier to learn a language from a younger age because of the memory,
Yeah.
retaining information.
Yeah.
And Danny's mentioned, but take this, right? A person who has never heard, I heard can say pronunciations, how to say words, like pronouncing the words and shit.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand it, but like I mentioned, I had a conversation with this about Danny, well, about this with Danny before, where it's like having certain phrases that you can, like certain words that you can use in a certain phrase for everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when we're talking about a YouTuber, right? I'm sure people have seen him online. He's in New York, and he's learned so many different languages, but they're all key words like hello,
Mm-hmm.
hungry, good. And then from there, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say this word.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, my chest was out at the moment.
No, you're fine. Go for it.
A little bird's just said, our languages don't seem to be taught in schools until a later age. For me, we started French and German at age 11. And then if I remember correctly, Jody, well, Little Bird is in the UK. So it's understandable, like with the countries already on. I guess that's language based as well. We also have that.
Yeah.
There's online teachers, there's online teaching, which I did in Taiwan. I taught English through it. I misunderstood if you have never heard sound, for example, if you're dead, you were able to answer. Yeah, okay, sorry, that was not that thing. But yeah, like, being deaf and not being able to hear the word and understanding how it's pronounced will come out very different as well. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I completely overlooked as well. Both. It's just interesting how it all plays a part.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Just being in one area, like you said, it's going to make it a lot easier to learn their language because you're always around it. And I think it was Jody who said it that when you're young, you take in a lot of more knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
That you're just going to take all the knowledge that they say to you, and then you're just going to be. It's going to be easier to learn that language.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, true. Honestly, and to go back even further, do I think if you're just stuck to one language? I think not. I think you're able to learn all languages,
Mm-hmm.
but it takes a lot of time. When you're a lot older, because you can't take in a lot of information. Like it's hard for it to be remembered.
I mean, that comes down to the person. Like, I know from this between information got a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And that takes me a couple of tries to get through it.
Mm.
For other people, they learn it for one time and they're stuck with the information.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that's another thing about people where it's like every single person is different in shape, way, form, whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
This is what makes us, what makes humans.
Yeah. Robot. Just think about it. Like a robot can instantly change their vocals. Just like, oh, this person speaks English. Swapping to English, start speaking English. Like we have to program a robot to speak that language. So a robot's gonna obviously have way better vocal wise, because they're gonna be automatically able to speak it, where we have to learn it. because we program them. So.
Mm-hmm. So here's something that David just mentioned.
Yeah.
It got me thinking also, when you were talking about mummies, right? You were talking about Egyptians. Right?
Yeah.
Knowing right from wrong, the Egyptians used to put slaves in the dark and told them this is life and good. So when they escaped, they would actually return to themselves, thinking, okay, out here is dangerous and bad, let's go back to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It stands on a very psychological standpoint.
Mm.
And this goes back to the image of his viewpoint, which is understandable. We need faith, a staple to know what is right and what is wrong, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like, it comes down, from me personally, when it comes down to like what's right, what's wrong, I use my gut instincts. Because for me personally, if something seems off, if it seems off, then I'll sit there and be like, hey, is it good or whatever the case may be? And a few times I've actually been able to help people get out of a very bad situation on my gut instincts. And I will admit, there's been some times where people are like, no, I'm good, fuck off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, sorry, my bad, I just wanted to make sure everything was all good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to like the whole psychological side point of everything, Egyptian, with how their thought process was, I could understand with like how their not mindset, like belief sort of thing.
Yeah.
What did we talk about? Yeah, exactly what I was going to mention. Like, being able to not necessarily mind control, but like brainwash sort of thing, where it comes into that genre of things. You could have situations where some, like, not long ago, where it was Hitler, for example.
Oh.
If you think about it, the Egyptians and Hitler both had that same sort of mindset where it's like, hey, this is right and that's wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And it started the whole World War III, and then you can also look at the whole technology behind like Hitler's philosophy of perfect child, which is one and ones and twins. And you notice how many more twins were actually born during that era and during that time. And then from the army being a certain size, it's like double. And a lot of people are younger. And it's insane to think, like, some people, like, whatever side you stand on with the whole right or wrong, right? Some people were sitting there like, yeah, this is the right thing, like, let's believe in Hitler, sort of thing. To the point where it's like, hey, this is wrong. We shouldn't be doing this. And you can take it to somebody even more modern, for example, North Korea. Like, you sit there and think about the stuff that's going on in North Korea. Like, over the past, like, 10 years, for example. It's insane to think. Like, being restricted to certain numbers in family, being restricted to outside of a given country, like, information, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought just listening. I'm like, this is actually good. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like I said, I lost my train of thought a minute ago.
No, we're good. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, we have the Egyptians, right?
Mm.
We've had Hitler. We've got North Korea. What would be the next one?
Mm. China?
I mean, you can sit there and think, oh, it's China, or hey, it's Russia. But, I mean, for a time period there, I thought it was going to be the United States, just saying.
Yeah.
Like, the way that you guys are doing shit over there, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, help us. But yeah, it gets crazy.
Oh, yeah. And Danny just mentioned, that's why I believe faith is a integrated part of society.
Yeah.
North Korea has been lied to for a generation when North Korea had it's yeah. So it's hard to say because it's being put into like how we feel in the situation to what they're going through is so difficult to understand.
Yeah. It just goes with the time period. You know, that at that time, you know, like let's talk about Hitler for a minute. Like that Germany was already in a bad rap since World War One, and then World War Two came around, and Hitler said that he could fix all the issues. Everybody just bandwagoned.
Yeah.
And they just, you know, threw him into power, and he thought he could just come over and take everything.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of shot himself in the foot, where if you think that you can just, you know, take whatever you want, you can't. It's gonna come back and bite you in the foot.
It wasn't really the fact of what he wanted. It was more the fact of
Hatred.
the entire world pretty much sitting there like, hey, this isn't right.
Yeah.
If we don't put a stop to this, then it's not going to be ran by one person.
Yeah.
Where it comes down to the same point as people agreed at the end of the day. Like, no matter how you want to look at it, like, people want what's best for them, which is totally understandable, which, if you want to go ahead and actually support it and be out there for yourself, then by all means, do it.
Yeah.
But with him saying that, you can't exactly go like, I want to be rich and go out tomorrow and rob a bank, you know? It doesn't work. Well, it might work, but then you got the repercussions behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't just put it out there. Don't go out and rob a bank. Don't do that.
Disclaimer, don't do that.
just disclaimer. Don't do that. Bad idea. Man.
I don't know if you've got much of it.
No, I sorry, admit. You know what? No, I do not. I can't see it at all. But
Because Danny enjoys being over good points.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he should be on his way to open up my channel right now, to be honest with you.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Buddy, we're on the time.
I'm working on it. Okay. I got it.
So now you can actually rebirth chest. So. But yeah, like I mentioned, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult to sit there and go, like, this is right, this is wrong. Where somebody else on a different point of view is sit there and go, like, that's wrong or this is right. Like, the whole debate of vegans and everything, right?
Yeah.
People don't want to see animals getting butchered and being eaten and everything else like that, which is understandable.
Mm.
At the same point in time, you get people out there and it's like, oh, it's okay because they're getting an after sort of vibe. And it's like, it's a 50-50 because instead of the old day when we used to go and hunt, we pretty much got smarter about the way that we farm. So it's not just planting crops and farming. It's about sitting there and actually having the resources and technology behind being able to sit there and actually cultivate and have animals around, grow them up, and then butcher them. Which is also another reason why like beef, for example, is such a high product for lamb or pork, for example.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
No worries, little brother. I hope you're feeling better. Hopefully, it's good
Yeah, I hope you're doing okay.
for you. See what Danny just said, like, plants can feel pain. Like, I've actually watched a documentary about, this is plants that actually felt pain.
Yeah.
And, like, there's actually some plants out there. Like, it's mainly known as the flytrap plant.
Oh, Venus flytrap.
That's the one. Like, you have a bug that flies over, lands on an animal, and something's like closed.
Yeah.
And it eats that bug. When you look at it, it's like, okay, how the hell did this work?
Yeah.
And then you have other ones that is literally like a tube, but it's like a nectar where bugs are flying in, but they can't get out because it's just slipping. And then just letting themselves actually hanging on. That's what it eats.
Yeah, like just thinking about it, like what, like if, like we just said, if plants can feel pain. I for some reason in the back of my mind, I just thought about like we just cut like every time we're cutting grass, the grass is just just screaming. Sure, mowing the
Cutting
lawn.
through the grass. And everything you hear from one of the lawnmowers. Oh my god!
We're all being cut. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, I've actually seen where they've actually opened up the actual thing and had the actual showing and put it into a test tube. And this dude's been working on this for the past like 4 years or something like that. And he finally was able to actually hatch a chicken out of its egg, which is not a good thing, to be honest.
An egg form inside of a bird. I haven't, but I'll take a look at it. I have not. That's something I know. Like look up.
You know, I'm actually going to look up and I'll tell you real quick.
Just like it's nutty. I can imagine. like that's the like that's it's a hard egg that just forms inside of a bird. And it comes out. Holy shit, yeah.
There's a time lapse of it. Interesting. I'm definitely checking that out.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be having my mind blown. What the? F-? No,
the actual. Lurking in the shadows. One good thing is to go in the shadows.
Oh, Origins of Shadows. Dude, it was a good. It's a great podcast they did.
I mean, to be fair, our first one, we had no idea what the fuck we were talking
Dude, you've seen me through this. There's moments in time where I've lost my train of thought. I'm like, uh, so I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
I appreciate it, TJ. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I had no clue what to say.
Well, Danny, if you're up for it, dude,
Yeah,
next week, if you're available, if you want, we can talk to you later about it.
yeah, come on through. I won't mind it.
Because our whole idea behind this is also reaching out to a lot of the members of the Strong Team Shadow Workers,
Yeah,
where we bring a person on from the team
yeah.
that wants to be on the actual podcast and everything like that.
Hmm.
And you don't have to have your camera up. We can have like a reactive image up there so that way you can talk and people watching the podcast on YouTube or whatever can actually sit there and be like, okay, look, this person's talking. I understand who this voice is.
Yeah.
And talk about yourself a little bit. Or even like a VTuber role and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like pulling one person up like once a week sort of thing. It's like, hey, like introduce yourself. Like, how's it going? Like, talk about us.
Yeah.
Not us, but like talk about yourself. Like, who are you? What you stream? What you have fun with? And then we go into a topic. Basically. But yeah, Danny, if you're up for it, dude, you could be our first guest next week.
Yeah. Yo, I'd be down for that.
I know on Origin side, you can sit on the table maybe, and you can sit between the two lounges, okay?
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, nobody's mentioned about the lounges.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we are kind of like just taking up both sides of the.
I mean, it is a podcast. You did see them? Okay, making sure. I love how on my side I've got your image with your.
Oh yeah.
What you want to call it.
Yeah, that thing. Yo, I didn't even think about putting them up. I could just put them in the background of the photo on my side.
Well, that's what I did with mine.
Hold on, I could just add that in now.
I mean, is there anything else you would want to talk to? Because we hit the hour mark, which we kind of thought would be like a good starting point for a podcast.
Yeah. Oh wait. How do I flip it? You know what?
I mean, is there any topics in chat that anybody wants to talk about or anything like that while Origin's like really messing with his half-naked model?
It's the what the fuck? Oh shit.
Yes, I mean, we could talk about penis. We talked about some really ass shit.
Yeah, dude, like this whole podcast was all over the place. So, here, let me.
I mean, Danny, we can always see how it goes next week, dude. And go from there. You're glad that you missed that part.
Holy shit. I'm messing up my stream just because your damn picture's in here. There we go. Holy crap. You take up the entire chat box.
Jesus. I'm looking at this side and I was like, oh, hi.
China. There we go.
So Danny's got a topic.
There we go.
But yeah, I just want to say real quick as well, thank you everybody for coming and actually tuning in and supporting our voice. actually sitting down and actually doing this podcast. Because before this, me and Oregon were both sitting in this because like, I am not ready. I am not ready.
we were not ready at all. Like, not at all.
Yeah, I need to work on getting some lighting, like better lighting, also intense.
Here, I gotta move this over here because I can't see it.
I mean, to be honest, at the moment, some of them are already going through and actually getting, like, surgically, I mean, surgically impregnated, if that's a correct term to use for it, where it might be hard for them to fertile, or like male and anything like that, and like want to have kids. So, I guess to answer your question, I could see it being an issue, but for me personally, I love doing the thing, so I probably want to take a part of it. I don't know about anybody else. I'm just being upfront here. So.
Look.
Yeah.
It don't taste good with
Like,
me.
it wouldn't surprise me if people sit there and modify human being in a TJ2. You enjoy doing the deed as well? Of course, I love this. But yeah, like being able to sit there and alter human DNA, if you think about it from any point of view, whether it be religious, not religious, whatever your standpoint is, it's insane. And to think about it, we're already kind of doing that with DNA, not DNA, but cancer treatments and stuff like that.
Yep.
Here comes the tinfoil hats. I ain't got a tinfoil hat, so.
I got this. I got this.
Actually, yeah, from your point of view of origin,
yes.
You've had COVID before, right?
Yes, I have.
What's your point and take on the whole ordeal?
Like the entire ordeal, from having it to getting the vaccine to that, like that, or because
before you got COVID,
yeah,
were you gonna get the shot? Yes or no?
The shot wasn't out yet when I got COVID, so there was. My entire point of the matter was, like, thinking wise was, like, I knew that a shot was being made at that point, right? And to answer your question, I was like, nah, I don't need it. Nah, I don't want it. I was probably just like, yeah, like, I'm never gonna get it, you know? Like, just normally I'm never gonna get it, you know? And then, because the thing is, I didn't get it. It was my mom who got it. So my mom caught it from work, and then she came home, and then it's
your mom passed it down to you. It's like, oi,
pretty much. My mom passed it to pretty much all of us in the house because it's really infective once it gets into a area that's, you know, just it's a house.
Yeah.
So
from being outside to being inside, having everything confined like it is in the household.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. COVID put me on my ass for about a week. It took it took my breath away. Like, it took every ounce of energy away from me. I legit felt like there was a possibility that I might die one of these days when I had it. Just because it's so hard to catch a breath. You know, you get body aches. like my body was just sweating so much just from like trying to fight it off, and it doesn't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I had a loss in the family due to it, but it's that's why I've kind of turned after like having that death in the family to where I turned around and was like, as soon as the vaccine did come out, I did go and get it. Because
Right, so here's a question for you.
what's up?
When you were dealing with COVID,
Yeah.
you were going through emotions and the pain and everything else like that, correct?
Yes.
Right. But when you have that death in your family, and by the way, sorry for your losses,
No, you're fine.
was it to the point where it's like, I know how they were feeling when going through this?
Yeah.
Was that running through your mind at the same time?
Yes.
Like push you towards, hey, if I can get vaccinated, then it might help somebody else down the track.
Yeah. That's exactly how I thought. You know, my thought process was I see my mom, you know, she was laid up for almost a month with it. You know, it was bad for her just because she was older. And, you know, like same with my dad, my grandfather, and all them. You know, they were just all laid up. And my thought process was I don't want to see them ever get it again. So if I could do something to, you know, protect myself from even, you know, possibly spreading it, I'm gonna do it just to keep my family safe. And then the bigger thought process came like, if I do this, then the people around me that I'm around won't have the chance of getting sick also. So I'm helping everybody while, you know, by getting it.
So here's another question for you, right?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on people getting the vaccination that are healthy as pretty much false very much, even like terms, to all of a sudden getting really, really sick and bringing to surface like a lower issue that was hidden, if that makes sense. Because my mother does COVID cleaning, right? I've done COVID cleaning with her for a little while. And one of the ladies she worked with in the office, she turned around and said that her mother was in her 70s. She was out going for a walk every day. She was playing tennis in her 70s. Like, I don't know about you, but being in your 70s, I'd be laid up on the couch working. No, fuck this shit. I live my life.
Yeah.
But like this lady was in her 70s, and after, like, she was healthy as a horse, right? And then it goes from that to, okay, it's kind of like underlying health disorder that was going on with her, to the point where it slowly just pushed her downhill. Where it's like, okay, this issue is coming to surface.
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at that? We've got another issue that came to surface, or another one on top of that. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like COVID's bringing a lot of small underlying issues to the surface, just due to the fact of when you walk into an office and say, hey, I got COVID, they're going to not just do the usual, oh, you want a health checkup? Not a problem. Here's going to be the case of, okay, let's check your heart rate, let's check your everything. You know?
Yeah. I think there's a lot that, like you said, like I do think COVID does bring its fair share of underlying issues, and it brings a lot of them to the surface. Because after having COVID, I wasn't breathing right for the next couple months. Like, I couldn't catch a breath, like, regularly, you know, after having it. I still felt like I was dealing with COVID even after I had it. And I do believe that it does leave some lingering effects that stick with you for, like, a long time. And because the thing is, I think COVID weakens you, right? It weakens you, but I don't think it's the thing that kills you. I think COVID can weaken you and then attack those things that you've had already underlying, right, that weren't major, and then makes them major. And then it affects you. And the vaccine, I think there is some things that have some underlying effects as well. You know, because now you're putting chemical into your body that haven't had before, that have a part of the dead virus in it, have part of like, whatever chemical they put into you, and now it's in you.
Yeah.
And that can hurt your body on other levels, and that can lead to more underlying issues in the future.
Mm.
That's why it's scary for like elderly people to get the vaccine, because you don't know if they're gonna have a bad reaction to it, or if it's gonna make a underlying issue become a major issue. So yeah, that's like my standpoint right now.
So like how I understand the whole vaccination and everything, I've not been vaccinated.
Yep.
It's not the fact of I don't believe it works.
Mm.
Right? From my standpoint, I don't really go out as much as I used to. So it's kind of the case of people I'm interacting with is my mother and my nephew. Yeah, they might run into somebody and I might have it. And I might pass it on to me. If that happens, then fine, so be it. I'll deal with the consequences when it comes to it.
Yeah.
As it stands, right, and it's going to sound really, to call it. But I'm that sort of person where if I'm faced with the option of, hey, you need to store, then it's kind of a case of, well, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
There's that whole thing of evolution that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, we want to sit there and understand, hey, what we're going through right now, to whittle out, like, as fucked up as it sounds, whittling out the root sort of thing, without trying to be disrespectful to anybody else's past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's human evolution. Like, look at the extinction from the dinosaurs, for example, the medium.
Mm-hmm.
The strong survive. They adapt, they evolve. It's the same sort of thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, to think how many people are in the world right now. And then another thing we're talking about, out of that percentage of people, how many of them are actually homeless? Because they can't get on top of like that stepping stone sort of thing. It sucks to be homeless. I've had friends that's been homeless, and I've tried my best to help what I can. But at the same point in time, it's like being able to have that stepping stone is such, I guess, a disadvantage if you think about it. It just depends on like what's going on in their life. Like, I know a lot of people PTSD from war and everything like that, which a lot of people connect to life.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same point in time, it's like, with all due respect, like, yes, they fought for our country, mad respect for them. But at the same point in time, it's like, why is it only now that people are realizing, hey, there's people that are homeless and this shit's going on, where people being homeless have been a thing for years.
Yeah.
Where's the limit with vaccinations? I don't know about there, but there are people on the second booster that was 4 doses. But yeah, 4 dosages for something that doesn't prevent you from catching. Like, it comes down to the same thing, where as every day that goes on, people are revolting. But it's not just people that are revolting. It's animals, it's plant species, it's everything. Bacteria, like, at the end of the day, as it stands, COVID is evolving. Like, no matter what way you want to try and slice it or whatever it is, it's just the way it is. Origin, you can read all of that.
All right, I gotcha. I actually gotta, hold up.
Do you actually have chat open this time?
It's on my phone.
Oh my god, why don't we just pull the chat out from the freaking from the web browser?
Oh yeah, true.
Dude, I thought you were prepared for this podcast.
Oh no, we
Jeez.
were not. I wasn't at least. The, the limit is where you, as the individual, draw the line. Unfortunately, those in power do not do what is best for the individual. Right now, Australia has the worst number of COVID in the world, yet we are the most locked down and restricted. The policies and laws do not correlate with the data they are playing on apathy and ethic moral code. Do the right thing. Well, the media has lied for so long. What is the right thing? Mark my words, the media will backpedal soon. Governments will
Oh yeah.
ignore.
Oh yeah. Like we've seen that in the past. Like for example, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but the shooting where there was a cafe incident a couple of years ago where the actual it was like the national news over here where it's like I can't remember what happened, but they were going into details about everything that was going on about the shooting and stuff. And after like a year, we kind of brought the story back up to light where it's like, oh yeah, like this happened last year. But at the same time, it's like, oh, we're backpedaling. We're trying to fix what we fucked up. And like, what do you mean? Because every news outlet wants to be the first one to get their information out there because it brings numbers and it brings what they want to do,
Yeah.
More numbers, more money, more power.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's just the way that some people are. But yeah, like, they were sitting there backpedaling, it's like, okay, what's going on? And we looked more into it, it's like, oh, they fucked up majorly.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it was. Like, we could even go into this next week if you
What?
It was insane. Like, they were backpedaling, and the government was like, we don't know what happened. It's like, okay. Is the government officials for the terror attacks and stuff like that? Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that he's the one that sat there and said, pull the trigger. Like to take this guy out, man, because he was held up in his building for like 2 days or something.
Yeah.
And it was on like the main street of Sydney as well.
I feel like I've heard this one before, but I'm not entirely sure.
See if I can put them in. See, 2014 is when it was.
2014.
Yeah, a lone gunman, held hostages, 10 customers, and 8 employees of a chocolate cafe in Sydney, Australia.
Why did you choose a chocolate cafe?
16-hour standoff.
16 hours?
Yeah, 16-hour standoff. After
Wow.
which a gunshot was heard from inside the cafe. The police officers from Tactical Operation Unit stormed the cafe. And then one of the hostages actually passed away. And then, that's what it is. A hostage was killed by police.
Oh. And it's hard to imagine. Just the thought process that it goes through everybody's mind if you're a hostage, or even if you're like the gunman, like, what are you thinking at that point in time? Like, damn.
I think what they fucked up with in this story is the fact that they said that the gunman killed the person instead of it was accidentally the police.
Mm.
That's why I think they backpedaled a lot of it.
Yeah. I could see that.
But yeah, I'll post this in chat if anybody wants to go over and have a look at it and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the Sydney cafe shooting that happened in 2014. You know, the whole like terror attacks and everything like that was going on.
Man, my whole stream lit up like a Christmas tree with this. There we go.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, for me personally, right, I'm fine talking about this on stream where just before Christmas, I had a mental breakdown to the point where I snapped. I was always that sort of person where I was like, shy, quiet to myself sort of thing. And then I finally came around and I snapped on it. Yeah, I'm not going to mention what I said, just out of respect. But it was to that point where it kind of turned around and said, you really get to sleep. You can notice it for a while. Right?
Yeah.
And for me personally, I sat there and I was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. It was just like a small little snap. And I spoke to my sister a couple of days ago, and she's like, dude, you've changed so much. It's like, yeah, I'm still me. Nothing's changed about me. It's like, no, like, you're actually having fun and enjoying yourself. It's like, it's how I always am, how I always feel. But I guess from looking from the outside in, it's easier to see where an issue might lie. So for a longest time, I was still suppressing myself. It was like a little bit of a dinosaur where the evil was trying to take your soul. And it's like, I could understand that point of view on it. At the same point in time, it's kind of like yes and no, if that makes sense. But yeah. Everybody deals with their own sort of demons in the sense where it's like we all say it's demon because we all have a knowledge behind demon equally bad. Where
Yeah.
in retrospect, a demon is just a fallen angel. You wouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to the whole, like, believing in the rest of it. So it kind of like plays a part in amongst itself as well. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
disagree with that one, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But I'm just going off from what I went through recently. So,
And props to you for even talking about it.
it's put it this way: if I'm able to sit here and mention about it, it might actually help somebody else. Like, be like, hey, maybe I could go talk to somebody. Like, it's not as bad as scary as people would think. And once again, it comes down to a trust. If you can trust who you're talking to, then by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, as you've seen, like, me and trusting people is very good. If I can't trust somebody, I ain't gonna do some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that firsthand. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can say somebody's life is by talking about their experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the whole Satan thing. I mean, like, it depends. Yeah, I agree.
Holy shit.
TJ coming glitch.
Thank you, TJ. Out of nowhere, that scared the shit out of me. I'm like, what the fuck?
But yeah, like, I understand why. Like, are you okay with? I agree with that. Like, that's why I always just say to people, it's like, hey, keep your chin up. Like, being able to have your head held up higher, it gives you that a little bit more self-confidence, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about, like, because everybody has a different beliefs and what they want to support, everything, which is totally understandable, and everybody's entitled to their own thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all agree on the one thing: we all want to help everybody. Whether it be the case of, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here. Like, yeah, you might hear from every single person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will sit there and be like, hey, I'm here for you if you need anything. But at the same point of time, having that reassurance of knowing that you have people around is such a good confidence booster as well.
Yeah. I just think. True.
Yeah, I get you. I keep getting it.
No, you're fine, Shifty. I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of just sitting here listening. Because, I mean, like...
Hey, it's meant to be a co-fucking stream, not a fucking single podcast. Come on.
I know. But the thing is, like, I'm over here trying to collect my thoughts, because, like... Yeah. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts.
Well, this is the whole thing about, like, the podcast, right? We can sit there and talk about what we want to talk about. And the joys of a podcast is being able to sit there and voice what we feel.
Yeah. All I gotta say is a demon's a demon.
Have you guys read 1984? No, I haven't.
True.
Oh yeah, 100%. Being able to reach out and actually speak to people, like, that's another reason why I love thinking of the VR chat, because literally you have to sit there and talk and interact with people.
It's a movement.
For example, last night Origin were in my Discord, and we were me and friends,
Yep.
and it's like, hey, like this is completely different to what I would expect. And like, it's
Mm.
not the case of like I had lazy off in my own conversations. Now we're all sitting there bullshit, talking about random shit.
Mm.
And
Sure.
bear in mind, if anybody ever wants to jump into our Discords, exclamation point to Discord or down below in our panels, you can click on it, join in.
Yeah.
Feel free anytime that we're in there, just jump in.
Yep.
And if you ever need to talk, then
Just
we're
message.
here for you. Simple.
Yeah. Like legit, if anybody needs anything at any time, legit just message, and we'll respond. We'll give you the help that you need to get through whatever you're going through.
Like, we might not respond like right there, right then, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, we might be asleep or whatever the case might be. But just know that as soon as we are around, we will look at the message and
Yep.
have a look at
Yeah, and then we'll help you in any way possible.
it. Yeah, that is true. Because having the fact of being able to sit there and be like, hey, we need to talk. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
At the same point in time, having that person who can sit there and you can trust to be able to sit there and talk, it might push people a long way, but at the same point in time, if it's comfortable for you to sit down and talk to a single individual, then by all means talk to that individual.
Yeah. Talk to who you are most comfortable with talking to. You don't have to you don't have to talk to us. We're just saying that we're there if you do need help.
Oh, if I'm quiet, then you guys can sort of mention it and tell me volume up. There you go, that should be like good. The only reason why I haven't done it is because I have a fan behind me.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel hurt. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah, definitely is.
that raises a good point too. Like some people they want to express what they're feeling, but it really does fall on deaf ears,
Oh, yeah.
and people really don't get the help that they really need. So we just gotta do better.
We gotta do better, not just for ourselves, but being able to sit there and put a hand out to help those that actually need it.
Yeah.
As it sits, right? I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat is pretty much the same way, where it's like, if you need a hand and you need someone to talk to, I might not know you from like a bar of soap, but cheers, if you need to talk, then I'm here. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like it's better to speak to someone who you don't know in the personal life. Exactly how I've actually been as well. Like, put it this way, I find it easier to talk to people online that know nothing about me. If I don't see them again, fine. If you don't know how to contact my family in any shape or form, or get in contact with anybody, then sure.
Yeah.
But there's only a few people that I know that have me on Facebook in case something ever did happen. Where it's the case of, hey, this happened, just a heads up, and everyone's informed. Or, like, I've been in a situation before where I've had a friend in a dark space where it's like, hey, dude, talk to me, what the fuck is going on? I can see shit's not right. And from that point in time, it was like, I actually needed to do a bit of digging and actually pull their personal information, get in contact with their parents and everything else like that. And to this day, they're still alive because of the snooping that I did. Yeah, was it my place to step in? No, it wasn't. But at the same point in time, it needed to be done. to get them the help that they needed.
Yeah.
And like, I talk to them every now and then, still to this day. Like, they're still appreciative of what I actually did. Like, the fact that I didn't just tell one of the parents, I actually told both of them. I was like, look, this shit is going on, so you have to talk to them. Like,
Yeah.
you need to get them out. So,
Like, just be aware of, like, warning signs is one thing also that, like, people just in general have to be better with. You know, if you can sense or feel that something's wrong or something's a little off, you know, you don't have to be upfront with them, but just, talk with them, you know,
yeah.
see
Like,
if you can learn
for
something.
my personal experience, just being able to drag them into a Discord call,
Hmm.
right? Even if it's into a public room, whatever. Sit there and have them into a room where you can sit there and talk to them.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to speak. They don't have to do anything. Knowing that you're there, even if you're screen sharing the game as you're playing it, and talking to them about what's going on with the game, right? That kind of like streaming.
Mm.
It kind of like a comfort sort of thing. And it's like, oh, I never asked this person to like look out for me or anything like that, but here they are in Discord talking to me, making sure that I'm okay, sort of thing. But I know when I was going through a bad time, that I would join friends' Discords and stuff like that, where it's like, hey, like, how's it going? How are you doing, sort of thing? And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not. And a part of me sat there and was like, no, I need to sit there. I need to like get my head out of this space. On the other hand, it's like, I just don't want to do it out there. I just want to be myself, be by myself.
Just,
Yeah, and that reminds me.
just a moment. I just got scared to shitless.
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about. If anybody from my stream hasn't already, go
Holy
over and give this man a follow that's joining me actually on this podcast right now. Origin, go give us a like. You guys.
Danny, thank you so much for the follow, but holy crap, that scared the shit. Like, I'm over here just doing something, and yeah, thank you so much, Danny. Much appreciated. I didn't realize how loud my sound alerts are. Once again. Dude, my heart legit just sank, dude.
What
But
are you supposed to do
but
when
thank
you
you.
know something is wrong with someone, but they just tell you they're fine? There's nothing. At that point in time, like there's not really much you can do. At that sort of a point in time, it's kind of a case of they're not really. Sometimes certain individuals will find it easier to talk to somebody that's not involved in any of that situation. Yeah. As Origins over the bench.
Dude, it's holy shit. Thank you so much. But damn, I'm over here just getting scared. This is
exactly. Like when they're ready, they'll sit there and they'll talk. Exactly what like Benny just said. You good there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You breathing?
Yeah, I'm breathing. It's going. I'm over here like, I need a moment.
He's like, okay, I need to breathe.
But thank you guys. Thank you everybody from Shifty Stream. Much appreciated.
I appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much.
AP Shifty just gave shit a follow. Thank you guys so much. Much appreciated.
But yeah, like being able to sit there and, like I said, being able to sit there and talk to somebody that knows nothing about the situation going on
Mm-hmm.
can be easily sitting there talking to somebody about the situation that they know 100% about. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I know you know. I appreciate it. Yeah, at times it can be tough, and I do get that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you gotta trust and have faith that they know what they're doing. And even if it's to the point, for example, for myself, where in the past it's like I cut everybody out of my life, like my
Mm-hmm.
family, my entire life. But being able to sit there and be like, hey, I need help, that's kind of when I realized, like, hey, even though I cut them out of my life and they know that they're still there, they gave me my time, they gave me my space, and at the end of the day, when I was ready, they were there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it sounds selfish at the same point, where it's like, when I am, I will talk to you. But sometimes when we're in that mindset, we need to build our self-confidence up to talk to the people that we care about
Mm-hmm.
before any of those situations go on.
Yeah. The first step in anything is to realize that there is something going on.
Yeah.
That's the first step that anybody needs to take charge in. Like, you need to know if there is something going on. Like, it's just, it may come in as like you just sense somebody's a little off, or but
Mm-hmm.
even just sensing if something's a little off, maybe they showed something, maybe they weren't trying to show, but they showed it just because they want you to know, maybe that, okay, maybe there is something going on, but and they only showed like a
Yeah.
little bit of it.
So at that same point in time, it's like you could sit there and be like, hey, this is the issue, this is going on, and this is what we need to do to fix it. But at the same point in time, if you're sitting there and telling somebody what the issue is, and you're sitting there telling them how to go about their business,
Mm-hmm.
then that's the easiest way of getting pushed away. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but if I get sat there and you're like, you should do this, you should do that, it's like, no, fuck off. It's my situation. I'm dealing with it how I see fit.
Yeah.
The way that I see fit might not be the correct way at that time. Yeah, granted, I've seen that in the past. And I've sat there and I've said to a friend, it's like, look, this person isn't fucking going to be working out for you, dude. Like, you need to watch out for yourself, like, all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, they've sat there and it's like, oh, no, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. It's like, well, anything happens and you need to talk, whatever, I'm here for it. Next time, a week later, I got a message from that same dude saying, well, I need to talk. It's like, yeah, well, I'm here. I gave you your time. I'll let you sort it for your own self. I'm not going to sit there and hold your hand all the way through it. Right? But when you're ready to take my hand, I will sit there and I'll give you my hand and I will guide you the best way that I can.
Yep.
Like, some people can't grasp that, where it's like, I've seen this before. I know exactly what's happening. And it's like, yeah, no. You gotta let them go through their own fall sort of thing. Like, you're not gonna be able to sit there and have a freaking fish teach a bird how to fly.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work. At
Mm.
the end of the day, you can sit there and support them and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, if they're not ready to take that lunch out of that branch sort of thing, then at the bottom of that tree where the water is, you can just sit there and wait.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
the whole
Alex.
thing about being able to be there for somebody is being able to sit there and wait until they're ready. Not
Yeah.
when you're ready, when they're ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, whether you like it, whether you don't, it's just the way things go.
Yeah. Like, sometimes people just need a person they can just lean on, or somebody just to listen to them. Go, like,
Yeah,
just as they just like let out everything that's been on their mind. Just have somebody that like they don't you don't even have to speak. Just be there. Just sit. Listen to them.
Yeah. Like sometimes, like some people will find it easier just to be alone for a while. I know for myself, like if I don't want to talk, I want to be by myself. Yeah, I might sit on my Discord, for example, and have a microphone muted or by myself sort of thing. It's like it is what it is. Other times when certain individuals join, it's like, hey, like let's talk. Or if as other people join, it's kind of like I'm not really in the mood to sit there and talk, but I'll sit there and I'll listen.
Yeah. Yep. Like you don't need to fully understand to help somebody. Like to go off of what you're saying, like you don't fully understand what somebody's going through, but if it sounds similar to something you've gone through, like you can understand some of it, and even just from your own experiences may be able to help somebody.
Mm. I mean, like Rowan just mentioned, how long can you be there for someone when they do nothing to push you away? And to be honest, right,
Yeah.
from my personal experience, my whole issues from end of last year have built up since 2017. So from 2017 until literally last year, what, 4 or 5 years? It's taken that long for me personally to realize that I need to seek help.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I was pushing my family away. Got to the point where I was pushing my best friends away. Like, I was doing a lot of dumb shit during those times. Like, I went on games. I drank literally bottle after bottle of alcohol per night. I'm not talking about like small bottles. I'm talking about like the proper like size bottles, right? Why? Just to fill that void so I don't feel that pain at that time. Was it the right thing? God, not at all. Did it kind of suppress everything that was going on at the time? Yes, because I was distracting myself. Should I be using that time to actually get help? Yeah, I should. And that's what I mean by earlier, by letting people make their own mistakes, but being able to sit there and be like, look, we know shit's going on. For example, like my family, it's like, we know this is going on since everything happened. When you're ready to talk, we're here. And literally, it was like 4 days before Christmas, I broke down, and then on Boxing Day, I actually had an appointment with a therapist about what's going on and shit like that. So it took me almost 5 years to realize, hey, shit's going on. I need to work it out. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bang, people are there. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you manage when it feels like no one is listening? At that point in time, it is harder to, like, having your voice being suppressed a lot of the time, it does suck.
Yeah.
I've grown up with that throughout my entire life. That's why I was always told, sit down and be quiet. Simple. Right? And no matter what goes on, those words always stuck with me. I'm pretty sure people always seen it in the stream in Discord where it's like, hey, you're extra quiet today, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, just in my head some shit. And exactly like that, there will be somebody who will listen. And if they don't deserve the words. Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. It's your life. You can pick and choose who you would rather have in your your life.
Yeah.
So
And if anybody in the chat wanted to know what music is being played on the stream, are you using the same music?
the one you sent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's both in both chats. It's a lo-fi live stream broadcast. So if anybody ever wants to listen to the music they're listening to, by all means. But yeah, being able to sit there and come to terms when is a good time to sit there and voice what's going on. Being able to sit there and hear is always a hard decision because you don't want to sit there and go like, hey, you have an issue, let me talk about this. No.
Yeah.
It's another way of having people knock themselves away. Because that's what I did. It's like, hey, you have an issue. It's like, you can see my issue. Let me highlight it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's when it comes into play where you don't want anybody else to see that you're going through something. You put up a double face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's hard because one moment you think everything's fine. They did very well to hide it, but and then under everything they just secretly hide something that's so like sinister enough to make them feel the way they do.
Hiding behind the bigger picture sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to worry about I put little bits of information out there.
Mm.
Like, a little bit of exposing myself out there. At the end of the day, if I put little bits of information out there, and if it comes back to me, then it's like, okay, I know who I can trust and who I can't trust.
Yep.
It's just the way that I am. Because me trusting people is not a thing. As fucked up as it is, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
I would trust to a certain point. I would not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Shifty is the one that's got the labeling on the top. I mean, depending on how you're looking at it, just looking at it from our point of view, I'm in
Yeah. On my point of view, you're left.
Yeah, I'm left. So I'm the one on the left, Origin's the one on the right. So yeah, I'm looking one in.
Yep. I mean, also if you look above, we got panels that say names as well.
Yeah. We've got the names above as well, so if you want to check out who I'm talking to, go give them a follow, go chill out by all means. But yeah, like, a lot of people have different ways of coping with different issues and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, when I know I am good enough to deal with my issues, I will sit there and push myself into that downward spiral, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's sad songs, having drink, listening to the back and having like a proper good cry.
Yeah.
Where other times it's like, okay, I can't do this right now. Let's get something up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, I've always dealt with my own issues, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I might sit there and talk about little bits here and there, but the little bit that I talk about might seem like it being 100% of an issue. Where in retrospect, it's only maybe 10% of what the actual problem is actually going on.
Yeah. Just to put it out there, it's okay to cry.
Oh yeah.
Don't
100% it is.
don't let somebody tell you like, oh, why are you crying? It's you're just a baby. No, it's okay to cry.
Yeah. It's a way of us releasing all the stress and at the same time.
Yeah. It's very much okay to cry.
Yeah.
It's very much
Like,
okay.
whether you want to be by yourself or with people and have fun, by all means. And if those people aren't going to sit and understand, like, hey, like, what are you crying for? Like, shit, at the end of the day, they're not worth having enough.
Yeah. Like, they don't need to understand your life. They don't need to understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, everybody's got their own situation, their own shit that they're doing from day to day to every single person that they interact with.
Yeah.
Like, the prime example is that I know maybe 6 people that are going through an issue right now. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this person's going through this or that person's going through that sort of issue, you know? It's like, they trust you with that information, so you sit there and you hold on to that information. The next time that they're going to talk to you, like, hey, what's going on? Like, were you able to solve this issue out? You see, able to sit there and talk about this issue or whatever else.
Yeah.
And some people just want to sit back and just chill and vibe, which is really understandable. Like, each person deals with it differently. Like, I'll let you know, with me, when I know that I'm going to my space, I'll put myself in that downward spiral and I'm doing my situation. Like, for being shit like that.
Yeah.
Especially when I believe from like a crew, how smart it goes. You need to have purpose to get up and going and get through the day without purpose usually. Without a purpose in the day, you're fucked. 100%. 100% right back on 100% that. Issues. People don't want to hear it. I mean, it depends. Like, if you sit there and you have an issue and you sit there and you talk about it, and by all means, sit there and talk. But if an issue is the same reoccurring issue, then it kind of comes under the lines of like, are you asking for advice, or is it to the point where it's like, are you getting it off your chest? Because at times, it's hard for people to sit there and be like, hey, can I just talk to you? This is an issue. I just need to get it off your chest. Where other times it's like, hey, this is an issue. And then sitting there, it's like, give me an answer.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't quite work that way. Like,
No, it doesn't.
and being able to sit there and have an issue going is being able to sit there and deal with an issue with another thing. And being able to sit there and ask for advice is an entirely different thing in my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. A lot of...
You have different
No, you're good. Like, just to go back on that, the thing is, when it starts to get to an issue where like there's like a constant issue, and like they constantly have multiple problems, like it does get overbearing sometimes. But that's the time when the person who does have a lot of problems, that's when they need to start stepping up as well. You know, we can only do so much to help the person. You know? So it just goes both ways. Like we can help, but you need to help yourself as well.
Yeah. Which is also my family's thing that don't shit up to me. It's like, hey, and that's when it's like,
Yeah.
yes, I do. And like, dealing with anxiety is real. It does suck as well. You want to sit there and talk to people that you actually trust is a big thing as well. And like Danny's mentioned, you're going through life, you can't do it like work or pretty much in this shitty situation for life.
Yeah.
No matter what goes on, but you will understand, or hopefully you'll understand that you have people that will sit there and have their hand out. Whenever you're ready to put your hand out, probably going to grab hold of your hand and bring that to the next stage.
Yeah.
You know, for this podcast, I feel like I'm the only one talking.
No, you're fine, dude. Like the thing is,
I know you're fine.
No, you were talking on a more personal level. So that's the thing. Like you were talking more on a personal level. I didn't want to, overstep. So.
No, well, if you got input, then by all means, put input in.
Yeah, I input when need be.
I still feel like we're sitting up here. This is great. Gonna be the shadow show.
I legit. That's just the thing. Like when you know it's an issue, get help. That's like the bottom line. If you know it's an issue, get help. If you don't know that there's an issue going on, try to find out. Like you gotta make sure that keep the one. Look, dude. I'm trying. You better start flapping them gums, okay? Alright. Like, I'm trying so hard, but I can't.
12-month waiting period for a therapist over there? Wow.
Wow.
That's insane.
12 months just for a therapist or like therapy? That damn.
The UK. It's
It's 12 months.
That's insane.
The thing is, a lot can happen in those 12 months, though.
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
you need help now. You're not gonna get it in that time.
Like, for me, from personal experience, if I didn't get to see somebody in 4 days of watching hey, help, then I probably still would be in a situation where it's like, no, I'm good, I'm good, I'm fine. I'll
Yeah.
see help. So, having to wait the 12 months, I can just imagine. Especially when you sit there and like, yeah, I need help, like, I need to talk. And it's like, oh, sorry, 12 months.
Yeah.
Like, what?
12 months, though. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That is really nuts.
Like, is there like hotlines or something that you can call, or is it like just that?
Let's see what just for.
Yeah, true.
That's why it feels like it is.
I want to be heard.
Like, bear in mind that even having that waiting period, you still got people online. Bear in mind they're not trained professionals, so they won't be able to be like, oh, this is the issue.
Yeah.
But they can still sit there and wonder, hey, like, you need to talk, I'm here, you need to like, watch me play a fucking game, for example, and by all means,
Hmm.
Like, hey, you want to sit down and watch a movie? Cool, let's watch a movie.
Yep. Get their mind off of it. Like, just like, hey, if you know somebody's going through something, just be like randomly, just, hey, you want to go play something?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even, like, you don't even need to say, like, oh, I know you're going through something, but, no, just be like, hey, you want to play a game? Hey, you want to do something? Like you said, watch a movie, anything can take your mind off of it. Just have a little friendly chat. It's just something that gets their mind off of it. like I understand that a lot of people like to hide the problems. They don't want to bring their problems into somebody else's world. Because they know that they're going through issues. But it the thing is, there's so many issues that go around the world, and that's the first thing. To actually realize that everybody has the same issues. So maybe your issue can line up with somebody's issue, and then you guys can. There's a connection there that you guys can actually talk about, and then maybe both people can actually get the help that they need. Maybe just by listening to one person's issue and then listening to theirs, and then they know they're not alone.
Oh yeah, 100%. And being able to speak out is,
Yeah.
there's a lot more power than a lot of people who put up for.
Yeah. Always speak out. Never keep it to yourself. Once you keep it to yourself, it's just setting yourself up for failure in the long run. And I've done that myself, where I've just kept everything bottled up inside, and then you just break. And at that moment, you can do something really stupid and not knowing what you're doing.
Like, being able to set yourself a goal that you can achieve in that time frame is also good as well.
Yeah.
It's not just a case of, oh, I want to go to the moon tomorrow. No. Like, having realistic expectations is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely keep definitely keeping like realistic expectations. Have a little goal here, have a little goal there, but keep striving towards every goal that you make. Never stop making goals. Like, have a short-term goal, have a medium-term goal, then a long-term goal. Like, one that you can do in like 1 to 2 weeks, one that you can do like 1 to 6 months, and then 1 to 2 years down the line. And always keep striving for higher. Have breakfast in the morning, make your bed, drink water. It all starts from the basics. That's very true.
100%.
Very true. What if you know you're on a downward spiral, but you're just done. Done with trusting people, getting hurt, no one listening, feeling like no one cares. It just ends up being the same never-ending cycle over and over for you. That's when you seek help.
I find it hard to really respond to that because I've been in that situation. I'm still going through that situation. So, without knowing myself, it's kind of hard to speak on that subject.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think if you're down to that point where you can't trust anybody, and like you just can't get it out, like can't get out what you need to say, and you only feel safe with yourself. I think you need to put yourself in a position where there's nothing around you that can physically hurt you, and you need to just take time to sit back and talk to like within yourself, and just try and find that light that you need, that you've been searching for, to help you break through, to see there are actually people around you every day that are actually really like want to help you. They're not trying to hurt you in any way. No one wants to hurt anybody. It just happens in this type of thing, because the person that's going through it, thinks everybody's against them, depending on what the situation is. And that's the wall. That's not it. We're actually trying to help you, And the more that I can get a person to talk, the more time that, you know, I can have with that person to help them through.
100%.
So, like, any way possible to get them to keep talking, or any way to, you know, have them, just have like an extra breath, or anything, just to, you know, keep them here. You know, you never want to see somebody go down such a bad path that you know, that you can't stop it. Like, it's inevitable. Like, you
Yeah.
can't. And that's the time when, that person needs you the most, regardless if they're saying that they can't trust anybody. As the person that's trying to help, you got to keep trying to break through until they hear, until they learn that that you are there to help them. You know, if it gets to that point, you just can't be on the sidelines. You know, like, where you can, take them, have a good, like, have a laugh, have a game, play some games, have a movie. You need to actually, actually get through to them so that they can see that you're there for them, so they can see that you're trying to help them. You know, because, I've, I don't know about you, 50, but I've lost some people to, like, some dark things
Yeah.
that they were going through, and it's not something that I want to go through again. That's why ever since I've gone, like, lost the people that I've lost to, you know, like, just that, I try my best to help everybody that I can,
Yeah.
because I don't
I know
want
the
to see
same
anybody go
situation.
through it.
It's like I want to be able to help everybody I can, but at the same point in time,
Yeah.
knowing when to be like, hey, I can't help right now. I have a lot going on
Yeah.
with not just other people and what's going on as well, and with myself. And then once you're always there, sort of thing, it's kind of the same situation of, oh, you've always been there for me in the past, like you want to live for me now. Do you want to give a shit? Is like, no, because I get like what's going on right now.
Yeah. It's a very hard topic to go through, because just talking through this, like, it reminds me so much of, like, the things that I've had happen in my life. Had, the people that I've lost, or just the people to this certain type of topic, that I've lost through, and it hits heavy.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like, I
There's another day that goes by where I don't think about like,
yeah.
that I'm the worst person. You tend to think that everybody else has been through the same situation, they've lost.
Yeah. It hits hard.
It is a very touchy subject, and a lot of people don't usually like to talk about it. But time that you just is right now.
Yeah. And yeah, like you just said, Shifty, it's very hard to talk about this type of certain topic, because no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to hear the problems, because they got their own issues. But it's like, that's also at the same time why you speak about it, because it can help you. It can actually, it could reach to a farther place than even maybe possibly therapy. But I don't know, like, that's for certain people though.
Yeah. Like once again, every person's different. Everybody deals with things in their own different way. Like no one thing is alright or wrong or done.
Very true, Danny. As you said, bro, it's healthy to have a good cry, but you always got to reflect and motivate yourself to better yourself. And I think that's when you start implementing those goals, like we talked about earlier. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's a step forward in the right direction. If you start making goals for yourself to better yourself, you know.
Well, hang on. give credit where credit's due. Like Danny mentioned of the goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We want to be honest and upfront. We're always like, yeah, like Danny's one that mentioned like, hey, like,
Oh yeah.
small stuff that we don't stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes you do need a good friend to snap you out of it. Me and my brother had a punch on once. Yeah. Sometimes it takes that to get through to somebody. I don't mean go around punch everybody you know. Don't do that. But yeah, don't randomly go.
Yeah. Just imagine this. Why'd you do this? Shifting an origin sex? No.
No, we didn't. We do not condone violence here.
I can just see.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have some people we want to punch.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the thing is, nowadays, it's you can't.
Yeah.
You do anything and you're in the wrong.
Given the reason, just breathing, you're in the wrong.
Yeah, just existing, you're in the wrong. Like I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. Yeah, that is life. That is life. Life will always find a way to make it even worse. But
Oh, that's so true. That is so true.
But I mean, at the same time, that's why there's people around us now. You know, there's people around everywhere that are just waiting for you to like get to know them, and that's what makes life, worth living. It's the people that we're around every day, the people that we, wake up to talk to, wake up to go to work to. It's those people, huh?
You wake out to?
I.
Dude, how many words have we butchered this entire stream?
Every single one. Well, not for me. All for me, yes. Dude, like right there, I fucking my shit up, dude. Oh fuck.
Another thing as well is, you don't forget to have a life. Now, it might not seem much, but your smile might bring somebody else to stay up. Right?
Very true.
Like, whatever the case may be. Like, no matter what goes on, we've all got things that we're going with. Right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we can try and help everybody if we can. But sometimes just giving a smile is more than enough. That it's because people don't smile from the other end.
Very true. Very true.
Well, since before COVID stuff, everybody's got their head down, just going on, and nobody smiles, going off like that. And as soon as you smile, somebody's like, "Oh, like you want drugs? Like, why are you happy?" It's like, just give me a smile.
Man, I'm high on life.
I mean, high on life is one thing, but when life is kicking your ass,
yeah.
I think it's time to stop.
Yeah. When it's kicking your ass, stop.
Don't entirely stop. Keep going on with life.
Yeah.
Oh,
oh God! Don't! Oh Jesus!
It's like, hold up, wait. Let me retract what I just said real quick.
Oh God! There's so many parts of this podcast that was just like, oh yeah, don't go punch everybody. Don't just end life. We don't condone violence. We swear. Oh man.
anything else that you guys would want to talk about? Because bear in mind, we'll probably we will be doing this every week.
Every week, yeah. And honestly, the thing is, a lot of this stuff that we did talk about even allowed me to take some time to look into my own self, and like see where I truly stand in my own life and what type of goals can I set for myself going forward.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to enjoy every podcast we do, because it's actually gonna help me grow as a person, help other people grow as a person, and maybe yourself grow as a person to be to the part where you want to be at.
I'm put it this way: this is the first time that people have seen what I look like.
Yeah.
Beside my avatar, which a lot of people don't see what I look like online.
Yeah.
Like, I've had some people that have known me for 7 years that barely know what I look like.
Yeah.
So this is also a good confident booster to be able to sit there and actually talk, even if the camera is on. Because a lot of the reason why I'm looking this way is like I'm not looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Because it's like I can see myself on the camera and everything, but I'm also looking at the direct chat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like read chat and then think about what's going on. Like, I'm sure by the end of the year I'll have my camera facing everything slightly changed and stuff like that, but it all starts with small steps.
Yep. 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 At the end, it's gonna be very specific. Who needs money when you could just, grab the back of a wing of a plane and take off? Don't do it.
I want to see you try that. I want to see you grab a wing of a plane and try to take off. I want to see you try it. Dead ass.
Alright, take one. Up, belt. Origin's dead.
Take one.
Yeah.
Was that the cut for the go? It's like, no, that was a cut for your face.
He didn't even make an inch in the air. He just fell. The plane went too fast. I love it. I love it. So, do you think that's good to end there, Shifty?
I mean, we did 2.5 hours, so
that's more than we thought.
An extra hour and a half than we thought we were going to go.
Yeah. The thing is, it once you start getting into conversation, it actually just keeps picking up and picking up. So.
Well, it does.
I think it's very well.
Thank you everybody for coming out and joining us for the podcast. First time we've ever done anything like this. I don't know about Origin, but I'm going to be reading out to somebody that's going to hit in their affiliate phone. So if you guys want to stick around for that.
Yep. I'll follow in suit. Much love to you guys. Thank you guys so much for the follows, and thank you for just being part of our first ever podcast. 100%. Thank you guys so much for even just Thank you, Sifty.
Oh, good. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys here next week, and if Danny's up, or we'll most likely have Danny up in our podcast with us next week.
Yes, sir.
And bear in mind, if you guys have any topics you want to talk about or anything like that, go ahead, join in on Discords, send it to us in a DM if you don't want to post it in the channel or anything, and we can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Because you guys' input of topics you just want to talk about is always good as well. Anything else you want to add?
I think you summed it up pretty well.
Alright guys, let's go give this guy a bit of love. Push him up with the viewer reading to get his affiliate.
Yep.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed your listen, I guess.
Yep.
Alright, take it easy, guys.
Bye, guys.